Friday the 13th. This movie further pushes my agenda of Monopoly.
Yo, strip Monopoly looked fun, way.
Okay, but that one chick was cheating. She's like, oh, double sixes. No, bitch, you can clearly see she rolled a 1 and a 2. Why are you cheating?
Would you think that because she did that, her dying was fair payback?
I was like, that's what you get for cheating. I was happy. Bitch, you morra cheater, way.
Madre
Don't
culera.
cheat. You cheat. You get axed. I hate cheating.
Double sixes.
Welcome to the list. This is a show where we pluck a name out of an all-time movie watch list, watch it, and review it for your viewing pleasure. The movie we're scratching off the list today is the 1980 horror classic, Friday the 13th. A group of horny camp counselors are trying to reopen their summer camp called Crystal Lake, which has a very spooky past, and stalked by a mysterious killer. Okay, here's another one. This is the whole reason why we have this show. I'd never seen none of these before. Okay? It wasn't until recently that I stopped confusing Jason with Michael Myers.
Okay, that is kind of shocking.
There's a lot of people that do that, I'm sure.
It's just that I've grown up with these two characters.
Yeah.
So it's very hard for me to confuse them.
Look at yourself. You're one of them. But still, the legend is so of this movie that I felt I knew everything about this movie going in, right? I thought it was going to be some horny kids, go to camp, and Jason Voorhees is just going to kill everybody because he wasn't invited to go skinny dipping with them.
I mean, that's the gist of the newer ones. I knew a lot of stuff coming in, but not as much as I thought also.
Yeah.
So I was in the same boat as you.
But I was wrong, and I didn't know how wrong I actually was. So let's get into it. It's funny to me in these older kind of movies, there's always like that one creepy ass guy, the conspiracy guy. In this case, it was Ralph, and he knew what was going on. I was like, don't go there, people gonna die.
And he always is like this little piece of shit who always tries to stop you doing stuff.
The thing is, if he wasn't so creepy, people would listen to them.
Yeah, if it would have been Charles the dentist, Simon.
Yeah, but no, it's creepy ass Ralph.
Good to Camp Blood, ain't you? God damn it, Ralph, get out of here. Go on, get.
And I thought that first girl was gonna be like a kid. But no, she's like a counselor. She looks super young to me.
I thought she was going to be the main girl.
Yeah, it was tough for me to figure out even who the hell the main person is. You don't really figure that out till the end. You see young, sexy ass Kevin Bacon in there. I forgot he was in this.
I did not know he was in this. When he was in the truck, I know that nose.
Tocinos.
And Simon, el porquillo.
I was like, is he the main kid? Is this girl who's like the kitchen person? Is she going to be the main girl? But it was a point of the director and producer to cast young unknowns. Even at the time, Kevin Bacon was an unknown.
Wow.
But for the part of Alice, which is considered the main girl, they originally wanted Sally Field.
Oh.
But at the time, she was too big.
Wow.
She was so big that they thought it was going to be super expensive for them to get her. So they eventually went with Adrienne King for Alice. Which was really messed up about her is that shortly after the movie was released, she actually had a stalker in real life that would follow her around and take pictures and even slide them under her door.
Oh, that is just the pinnacle of creepiness.
That sounds like a horror movie. So she lived her real life horror movie. She even came face to face with the guy and he was armed at the time.
Holy shit.
Fortunately, no physical harm was done to her, and the guy was caught. What's sad is that this led to her actually stepping away from acting. She would go on and do some voiceover work, but this event really did affect her.
That sucks balls.
Yeah.
I mean, it could have been a John Lennon situation. I've been glad it wasn't.
Yeah.
But I cannot imagine to have somebody just always watching you. Keeping in line with who the main person was, that the gist of these types of horror movies in this era was not to have a main person, but a final girl.
At the end?
Yeah, there was always the final girl. Everybody was a protagonist, but there was always the last girl that survived and was traumatized and what happened.
Yeah, if you think of Halloween, Texas Chainsaw Massacre, this, Elm Street, that goes in line. It was funny that because there was a lot of POV shots, and then which led to the girl getting her, throat slit. I was like, oh, look, It's pretty cool that Jason can drive because he picks her up. And that was my thought. Like, oh, I guess Jason knows how to drive. And he cuts her neck, and the makeup and prosthetics actually still look pretty good. Look, it holds up.
I think the only shot that I did, it was horrible, was Kevin Bacon's. That is garbage.
Oh, you didn't like how it looked?
Thinking that that's the worst shot of the movie is not that bad because the whole movie is actually pretty good.
I don't think that shot was that bad, though.
I thought so. I was like, oh my God.
You could see the thing coming out of his throat and there's blood gushing. What's horrible about it?
That you can see the separation between the fake body and the head.
The effect hit, you know? I mean, Kevin Bacon gets it after he gets some. So that's pretty cool. I think you're just looking at it with modern eyes, I guess. But even her getting slit wasn't that bad either. Like the prosthetics, I think, in the movie were great.
Well, it's neat on modern way because the guy who got impaled with the arrows in the door, that looked pretty dope. Mm-hmm. But as soon as I watched it, instead of getting creeped out, I was laughing my ass off.
Yeah, because you're one of them.
I was not expecting for the guy to be hanging from the door with arrows. It just got me so off guard that I started laughing.
Yeah.
The deaths, they all are very gruesome.
Which I feel like they really needed to be because, honestly, to me, this movie's really, really slow. Because in between the deaths, nothing really is happening.
This movie's an hour and a half long. It could have been an hour 10.
It feels longer than that. But I was making it, going back to the POV shots when they are looking and spying on them when they're swimming, I spotted a ring. So my whole journey throughout the movie was trying to spot who the hell has a ring in their a giant ring in their left hand. And I'm looking at it, and then at the end, the twist is revealed, and that person had the ring. So I was like, oh, see, there's a way. Is that person? What made me laugh is when Homie was drowning, the girl dives in beautifully to save him, right?
Oh, yeah.
And Bacon goes right behind her and completely belly flops and eats.
That was hilarious.
I can hear this. You can hear the smack. I'm like, damn, maybe you shouldn't have gone in, Bacon. Maybe you should have relaxed.
2 people already got the little bastard. Why do you need another 2 in the boat?
And all that just so he can do some Sandlot smooching. He was faking. That snake that they killed also in the cabin, that was a real little snake.
I was going to ask you, was that a real thing? Because
yeah, there was no PETA back then, so they could actually do whatever they wanted. And it moved too real, and I actually felt bad. You could see chunks how they're chopping at him, like, oh, is that a real snake? And it was.
That's the part that made me the most uncomfortable out of the hour and a half movie of killing people.
Yeah. This movie further pushes my agenda of Monopoly. Even strip Monopoly, right?
Yo, strip Monopoly looked fun, way.
Okay, but that one chick was cheating. She's like, oh, double sixes. No, bitch, you can clearly see she rolled a 1 and a 2. Why are you cheating?
Would you think that because she did that, her dying was fair payback for that?
She was justified. I was like, that's what you get for cheating. I was happy. Pichi morra cheater, way. Don't cheat. You get axed. I hate cheating.
Double sixes.
Also, when Kevin Bacon's girl dies, the way she screams when she closes her eyes was a little weird, off.
What's happened? Did they yell cut and keep rolling or what?
But other than the killings, nothing else really happens. There's like no story behind the kids or anything. They're just hanging out and preparing this cabin. Everything is in a POV shot, again, because of the expectations I set up for myself. So I put this on me. Mm-hmm. You never actually see Jason. Spoiler, Jason ain't even in the movie except for the last half a second.
I knew that coming in.
After all these killings are happening, Mrs. Voorhees shows up, right? Mm-hmm. And starts giving us a lie to tell Jason's backstory and reveals what I didn't know, that actually Friday the 13th is his birthday.
I never paid attention to that part. I was thinking, oh, lady can't even lift. Wait, how the hell did she do that?
Well, as Felix said, she's the one that's actually running around killing people because she was blaming the counselors for her son's death because he drowned at camp. So she's blaming literally their horniness for her son's death. Betsy Palmer, who actually was casted as Mrs. Voorhees, took the part because she needed a new car. Upon first reading the script, she thought this was a piece of shit. So she was on set for 10 days and was paid $1,000 per day. At the time, she didn't understand why she was being casted for that, because at the time she had a very friendly public image.
Oh no.
Which tells me how good of a job she did, because I thought she was an evil old hag.
Me too.
She looks hateful and mean, and like you can see like the devil in her eyes almost.
That's the thing about trauma. She saw her kid die and she went nuts to the point where she's also her kid.
Yeah. A lot of people, they're calling it reverse psycho, where instead of the kid embodying the mom, they're saying that the mom is embodying the kid.
Mm-hmm.
But this goes back to the POV shots that I was trying to talk about. The filming started before Mrs. Voorhees was ever casted. So actually,
Wow.
the crew members filled in those scenes of those POV shots. That's why also her fighting isn't great, which during the fight she gets punched in the cooter, which is pretty funny.
I was gonna actually point that out. Did she get punched or she got rifled in the cooter?
Either way, she gets hit in the cooter, and she acted like she had balls or something, so that was weird. That fighting was very weird and cheesy, but actually when Betsy Palmer eventually did get casted, her and Adrienne King, aka Alice, were rehearsing the fight scenes, and Palmer actually slapped the shit out of King in the face for real.
Oh my god.
So it took director Sean Cunningham to actually explain to her that movie fighting isn't actually real fighting. You have to tone it down. We're pretending. You're not actually supposed to hit them. We're pretending.
Yo, those slaps did look legit.
It's conflicting. Like, how is this little old lady doing all this stuff like you say? But then when it comes to hand-to-hand combat, now that we see her, she's all clumsy, getting punched in the cooter and doing all this stuff. It's weird.
Exactly.
The right?
Yeah.
I made a note saying that it reminded me of Jaws. And that's very accurate, because it actually did take inspiration from Jaws. It also took some from Psycho, if you listen to it, because you don't actually see the killer, like I said, for a while. So they use music to let us know that something's about to go down. The whispers are mama, which is inspired by a line that Mrs. Voorhees says by saying, kill her, mommy. So it's for kill her and mama for mommy.
I thought that thing meant something.
Yeah, because it's voices, and it's actually like her voices in her head telling her to kill her.
Oh.
Kill her, Mommy. Kill her.
All of a sudden, it just goes into slow motion and her heads get chopped off.
It was that was actually pretty effective, because the head prosthetic was real enough for me to think, oh damn, this looks actually pretty good.
It's fine, but the slow-mos got me weird. Like,
yeah.
It didn't need to be in slow motion. That kind of ruined the pace of everything. And actually, the biggest takeaway of the movie is the final scene where Alice is on a lake in a canoe, and then little baby burnt up, deformed Jason pops up and grabs her and drags her into the water.
Oh yeah, that Jason looks horrible. And not that it looks bad, he
looks messed up and mangled, yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
This was actually not on the original script.
Oh.
This was Tom Savini's legendary makeup artist idea. He's the one that suggested it. And they were like, yeah, it was also his idea to make them all mangled and deformed and gross.
Oh. Well, he had a very good idea with that one, because he looks creepy. He looks disgusting.
He is gross, but also Jason's iconic look doesn't come in until the third film, which I found wild. Because you say Jason Voorhees and you have a clear picture of a stupid hockey mask.
Mm-hmm.
That doesn't come until the third film. In the second film, he's got a sack over his head.
A sack?
Yeah. A sack and a hole, and he's looking through the hole. And he's got superpowers and for some reason.
I never got, how the hell did he get that supernatural powers?
I don't know. We could find out if this video gets 100 likes. We'll probably watch this for the next one.
Hell yeah.
You could totally tell this film is heavily inspired by Halloween.
Mm-hmm.
The original title for this movie was A Long Night at Camp Blood.
That's not good.
Nah.
The blood thing, it was like, eh.
Yeah. The director and producer of the movie actually got the idea of it revolving around the superstition of Friday the 13th. And he wanted to have a similar event occur on a specific day, kind of like Halloween does. But he was concerned with the title was used already. But to make sure, he used the marketing campaign through Variety magazine, releasing a poster just to see if somebody was going to claim it and started to sue his ass.
So small.
Turns out there was a movie already entitled Friday the 13th Orphan, but the illegality was eventually resolved.
Oh.
What I think is iconic as well as that poster, and that poster was actually created by heavy metal magazine artist Alex Ebel's design. That poster is super iconic, and I never actually noticed or paid attention too much at the silhouette. That is actually not Jason. If you look at it, you can tell it's kind of like the old lady.
Holy sh!
Because it's so, the design of the kids inside the woods in the cabin, it's just like so much is going on.
Oh, yeah.
Because of the legend that Jason has now, your brain just fills in the blank. Oh, it's Jason.
Yeah, because of the new movie. These posters were actually pretty cool.
Yeah. I don't know. Every poster is going for the Avenger effect now, and I hate movie posters now.
Yeah, because it's always the same. The faces, yeah.
All of the faces, like the whole cast in
Simon.
like a pyramid, and then crap going behind them. And that's every movie poster now.
Mm-hmm.
This was actually an indie film.
What?
Yeah, and it started a bidding war after people saw it, which led to Warner Brothers being in charge of the distribution internationally and Paramount for the States. It made $60 million on a $550,000 budget.
Holy.
So that launched this whole series, this whole franchise, which it got dumber, I guess, as it went on for what I hear. Because this movie certainly goes for the psychological and what the trauma of losing her son does to this lady. And it's less about big, giant, powerful zombie guy with hockey mask killing people.
And this was effective because it spawned a lot of media is inspired in this first movie. You know how the girl goes away in the boat and falls asleep in the boat?
Yeah.
Do you think she peed herself because she had her hand in the water?
No, because the water wasn't warm. It was cold water.
So it has to be warm water?
It has to be warm water for you to pee yourself.
Oh.
I did think that would have been a stupid move, but the more I was thinking about it, I was like, no, it's actually smart. Because you're not expecting nothing to pop out of the water to get you. Like, that would be the safest place.
Yeah, she would feel the safest away from the lady.
Yeah.
The beheaded lady.
So this movie was totally not what I thought it was going to be. There's actually no Jason at all, spoiler alert. I do think that all its legend made it kind of overrated for me, in my opinion. It does have a really cool twist, but it just didn't hit like what I was expecting it to.
I think the pacing does make the movie less effective.
Yeah.
If you could have cut a lot of stuff, example, the Monopoly cheating, it would have been a little bit more fast. Well, this is with new eyes. It would have been a little bit faster, a little bit more concise. But it was interesting to see them just hang around.
But I don't know, should we get into the series? Should we watch more? Do you disagree with what we think? Do you have any more facts that I might have missed? Anything at all? Let us know down in the comments down below. Don't forget leaving us a like. And if you haven't subscribed yet, make sure you do that. Thank you guys for watching. And remember, to always and forever, you do.
Bye.
Oh, Nightmare on Elm Street is right there too. Go watch that.